Time circuit's on.
Boy, that'll just snap it right out of you there.
I don't know what Dad and Mom had against Fruit Loops.
There were like hundreds of midgets.
Did Elijah just say that his spelling has improved drastically?
I can finally spell dinosaur.
That's a lot easier than Mississippi.
Actually, that one I could spell before I could spell dinosaur.
Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio, the show that requires people to wear hairnets when they get on the elevator with us.
Why is that?
Just in case we're eating a cheeseburger.
Because, we always walk around with cheeseburgers in our hands.
No, we just ride up and down elevators with eating cheeseburgers.
It's our favorite pastime.
Today we're going to be talking about hotel surprises. Just check on in and sit down and relax in the lounge and listen to the show. We'll be right back.
Understanding your finances is a key to a strong financial future. Don't be the one who gets left behind. Visit feedthepig.org for tools and tips to get started on the path to financial stability. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Singing M-I-S-S-I-SSI-P-P-I.
You're back with Comedy Parenting Radio, Hotel Surprises. You guys ever been surprised when you were at a hotel?
Well, speaking of elevators, this summer was the first time that we ever went to a hotel that had a awesome glass elevator that looked down into a very large atrium.
Yeah, it's probably the fanciest hotel we've been to yet. It was like 3.5 stars.
It was 12 floors.
14.5 stars, sure.
I counted a lot more than 3.5 stars when I walked outside.
Speaking of that hotel, oh man, was it a surprise to find out that my sister, Courtney, had actually purchased that room, the room in that same hotel that was like a 4.5-star hotel in like an expensive city.
Does anybody know what he just said?
I don't.
I will sum this up.
Can you translate what he just said?
I was very surprised that my sister was able to get us a nice hotel. It was conveniently located in Denver's, what is it? It's downtown. It's like the entire electronics area.
The static electricity.
Anyways.
Yeah, we were in the static electricity section of town. My hair was messed up. Any other surprises in any hotels ever?
When I was a little kid, we used to go to hotels when going back and forth from visiting family out east. I remembered we would go to hotels, but I never remembered the hotels really themselves until I was about 3 or 4. And then I was very surprised that I got to use the soap and stuff that they had in the bathroom. I thought that someone else had left their soap in there, and so we weren't allowed to use it. Another thing that was very surprising to me was room service.
When you were little, room service was simply Dad walking in the room with a gallon of milk and a couple of boxes of cereal.
The Super 8 was always my favorite kind of hotel to stay in when we were heading out east or something like that, because they always had a free continental breakfast. And I loved waffles because I pretty much never got waffles, and they had Fruit Loops, which we never got.
I don't know what Dad and Mom had against Fruit Loops, but this is what they used to do with Fruit Loops, guys. They would put in oatmeal in a bowl and then sprinkle enough Fruit Loops on the top so that you couldn't see the oatmeal. And then they would fill it with milk and they would try to bamboozle you into eating cold oatmeal.
Actually, Fruit Loops are one of the least likely cereals that we are
likely to get.
I can't say that I've had Fruit Loops for at least 5 years. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, and your blue sock is behind the bed.
Chris, can you put the video game controller down for a second?
I can talk and play. Oh, I'm totally annihilating this punk kid in Nebraska.
I just feel like you're not acting like a grown-up in our relationship.
Am too.
Well, you still ride your skateboard to work, there's the comic book collection, the race car bed.
Look, I'm young at heart, but I put money into my 401k every paycheck. I picked up a few savings tips at feedthepig.org. I have control of my financial life now, and that feels pretty grown up.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1,000,000. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. For free ideas and easy tips on ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
So, I bet I look like a grown-up to you now.
Well, except for the footy pajamas, I'd have to agree.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Comedy Parenting Radio, setting the bar in podcasting.
Has anybody seen where I set my podcasting bar?
When my brother graduated from college, we got a hotel kind of outside of town. It was slightly cheaper, but it was still a nice hotel. And we were supposed to meet some relatives so that we could go see my brother graduate. And we had all gotten into the car, and we were like, all right, let's navigate to their hotel, because we had just been given the name of their hotel. And so we're sitting in there for like 5 minutes trying to figure out where in the world this thing is. And it says, pretty much drive 50 feet. And we're like, hold on, that's the hotel there. That's not what it says. That's like a Marriott or something. And then it said down in, like, lower down the sign, tiny, it had the name of the actual hotel there.
You have arrived at your destination, and we're sitting under the carport of our hotel.
So there we were.
When your mom and I went on our honeymoon in Upper Michigan, I rented a really nice hotel for 2 nights, and we're going to go some other places, but we got up there, and this hotel, one of the things in their description was that it had a view of Lake Michigan. I thought, how nice will that be to look out over Lake Michigan, probably from our balcony, you know, and I had all these grand ideas. We got there, and I said to her, Marty, there's no view of Lake Michigan at all here. And she went into the bathroom and stepped into the bathtub and stood on her tiptoes, and there was a little round window, and she said, if you look out this round window and kind of peek through the tree branches, you can sort of see Lake Michigan out there.
Wow.
I marched right into the office and canceled our reservation.
Wow.
What a surprise.
One of the worst surprises that we've had with hotel rooms was just in Arizona, pretty close to Colorado, and we stopped for the night in a place called Tuba City. Now, in Tuba City, it's pretty much the only town with hotels between the Grand Canyon and Cortez, Colorado. We stayed in this hotel, which was like 130 or 140, and we pulled in at about 1 in the morning, and so they didn't really have any rooms available. The only room that they did have was a smoking room, and we are not very
tobacco inclined folk.
I'm thinking that they had a smoking convention in that room. The people who rented that room got all their friends who do smoke and said, come on over to our room and smoke.
I've been in smoking room hotels in Denver, and this one in Tuba City was far worse.
It smelled like someone bought like 60 packs of cigarettes, lit them all at once, and just sat there and smoked them one after another.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Right.
It was really bad. I had a sore throat. And
we had the window wide open all night. That didn't even help.
Yeah, and so in the morning we were all feeling very sick and sore throated, and thankfully it was rescued by a McDonald's breakfast.
Boy, that'll just snap it right out of you there.
That'll clean out your system right away.
I have a very good surprise. So we went to Denver Comic-Con 2017. We got a wonderful hotel. My sister and I got to go swimming on their pool that was on top of the building.
That was one of the most pleasant stays that I've ever had at a hotel. We were smack dab in the middle of downtown Denver, like 5 blocks from the convention center, and it was a really nice hotel.
Another surprise that happened there was Courtney and I went out for a midnight snack and came back with it into the lobby of that hotel, and there was a midget convention. There were about 100 midgets just sitting around in the lobby.
There was like the whole 2 days that we were there. There were like hundreds of midgets.
It probably went longer than just the 2 days, but there was a lot of midget people there.
It was very surreal to be sitting around at midnight with all these midgets everywhere.
Especially because there weren't very many people who were actually over 5 foot tall in the lobby.
Courtney and I were about the only ones there.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Yeah, hi. I'd like to report a bear sighting.
Location.
In the woods, just outside of town.
Oh, not surprising. You've got your home. Bears have theirs.
Yeah, but see, this wasn't just any bear. This bear was wearing jeans and a hat, as in a Smokey Bear.
Jeans and a hat. That's definitely Smokey. What exactly did he have to say?
Well, we were about to head home, after having a bonfire.
Oh, I can guess where this is going.
Right. See, Smokey told me the fire wasn't actually out. He said if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
That's true. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans? That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Wow, no kidding?
I'm a forest ranger. We never kid.
Sorry.
that was a joke.
Oh.
If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference, because 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. Brought to you by Smokey Bear, the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
As it turns out, you're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio with your host, Jerry Begley.
Okay, any other surprises?
So last summer I got back from a trip and was dropped off in Glenwood Springs at about 4 a.m., and there's not much open at 4 a.m. in Glenwood. And so I basically went to a hotel, and it's pretty boring in a hotel. And they have a pretty much early morning coffee shop there that you can get coffee at. So I got some coffee, and so I got some bhakti chai, and then I just went exploring the hotel, and they just had these random pieces of furniture all throughout the hotel. And me being the curious person I am, don't do this. It's stupid. I was opening up all the drawers and stuff and looking inside, and I would find the weirdest things. I would find, pieces of paper with numbers on them. I found towels, just clothes. I found some rotting food.
Wow.
Did you report that to the manager?
I did. They were very thankful that I did it.
Yeah, when I was opening up your drawers up on the 3rd floor there's some rotting food there in that hallway.
The food was so rotten, it was completely black and stale and
yeah. Now that's a surprise.
Mm-hmm. It looked pretty much like a burnt walnut.
I was surprised at one of the hotels that we went to. The carport there says low clearance, 7 feet, 11 inches or something like that. Mm-hmm. And our van is 7 feet, 5 inches.
Ooh.
So I pulled in very slowly and it cleared. But then when I pulled out the other side, it didn't clear.
They just set the bar that said 7 feet 11, like a chain or two link lower than it should have been.
Yeah, so it hit the top of the van.
Was that the same hotel that we had the other surprise in, where they were completely full? The guy that was running the desk, he opens up our door because he tried to sell the room to someone else.
Back up the story. There were 30 people in the lobby trying to get a room. All of the hotels in the whole town were full. And people were mad, and he was struggling trying to get them rooms.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, he accidentally sold our room to someone else, and they came walking in.
There's a reoccurring surprise that happens all the time to me when we go to hotels.
What's that?
The price.
The swimming pool is cold.
They always say, heated pool. If by heated you mean 1 degree over freezing
32.
point.
It's 33 degrees.
And you guys get your swimming suits on, and then you go swim. You're like, Dad, you got to come in the pool. It's fantastic. I'm like,
hey, you get used to it.
No, that water is freezing cold. I'm not going. No, it's fine. You'll get used to it.
You do.
And then about one time out of every 10, I'll put my suit on and get in the pool and go, I never got used to it.
Even the hot tub's almost iced over.
I think I'm getting arthritis just from going in the heated pools.
Oof.
They're freezing cold. Speaking of pools, we went to a hotel in Arizona. Heated pool once again. Number 1, it was freezing cold. Number 2, I don't think it had been cleaned in the last 6 months.
Ooh,
there were leaves floating in there like soup. We went to the Great Sand Dunes and laid in the river, which basically fills up all of your clothing with sand.
Mm-hmm. Everything is filled with sand.
Then we went to a hotel, and I volunteered to wash everyone's swimming suits and towels. I didn't know there were like handfuls of sand in the swimming suits.
You should have guessed.
And I went to the laundry in the hotel, and I put the suits in, and when I took them out, there was sand everywhere. And then I put them in the dryer, and there was sand all over in the dryer.
So you made glass?
And there was sand in the lint trap, and there was sand on the floor. And there was sand on the folding table. You've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Hotel Surprises. We hope that you guys don't have too many surprises on your next hotel visit. Thanks for coming in the studio today, gang.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
Before you guys go,
yeah,
yes,
would you unwrap this little bar of soap and put it in our bathroom for us? Bye-bye.
Giant enemy crab